What's going on, everyone? Jalen Green has been on an absolute scoring tear, basically just running through teams. Houston is incredibly hot right now. They're currently on a 6-game winning streak. And so far, in the last 10 games for Jalen Green, he has multiple 30-point games, multiple 27 to 30-point games, and then a 42-point game, which is what he's coming off of against the Washington Wizards. You go back to basically the two Phoenix games, back-to-back 34-point games. Then follows that up with 23-point game, 15, 27, 19, 16, 37, 26, 42. He's also giving you, 9 to 10 rebounds a game, giving you a handful of assists a game. The guy has been absolutely spectacular. On the season, he's averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3.5 assists, and really does look like he has the potential and upside to be one of the top just scoring guards in this league. Right? Like, and just in general, when you think of scoring guards, like scoring guards in this league, right? How many are really that great? Most of the top guys in the league are like the point guard, but they're really kind of like, a combo guard, scoring guard, but they usually play more point. They're more perimeter guys, like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown type guys. And then the big man, right? This is kind of like a renaissance for the big fella as well as point guards. So shooting guards, Jalen Green, man, he can really move his way into being one of the top, 3 to 5 shooting guards as he inches closer to just developing as a player. He's still incredibly young. He's 22 years old. He's young enough to have been drafted, and he just turned 22, by the way, on February 9th. So he's 22 years old. He's young enough to be drafted in this upcoming draft. So the kid, the sky's the limit with him. Good athleticism, good size, good speed, can finish through contact. He's a guy that has a real upside. And what's funny is that there's a lot of questions about, like, what should Houston do with Jalen Green? There were genuine talks about them looking to potentially trade Jalen Green at multiple points during the season and even the offseason. They wanted to kind of go a little more mature route. There was questions about his maturity at times. Then obviously we know what happened with Porter Jr. I'm not going to get into that too much, but then when he ended up departing, then that's when they were kind of like, all right, well, let's see what we could do with Jalen Green. Obviously, they had plans to be in a better position that they are in, but they're climbing right now. So again, obviously, Houston, they were looking to be a team that could fight for an actual playoff spot. Maybe they're a play-in team, but they're in the conversation for like that 5th or 6th seed. And there were times throughout the season in which it really looked like that was going to be the case. There were multiple times this year where Houston was they were cruising, especially early on. And they've had multiple stretches where they've won 4, 5, 6 games in a row. So this isn't like really an outlier for them. Problem is, they've just been very inconsistent, right? They'll win like 4 or 5 games, and then they'll lose like 5 games, and then they'll win 3 games, and then they'll lose 6. And it's like, that's where their problem has lied this season. They've genuinely been basically a 500 team, right? Literally, like, they win 6 straight, they lose 6 straight. But you look at them, and they're not that far out. I think it would be a little tough to catch the Lakers because you're talking 3.5 games back. There's only 13 games left. It's tough. Obviously, if Houston keeps going the way that they're going, but I don't know. They'd essentially have to win 4 more games than the Lakers just to essentially be tied. And I believe currently the Lakers have the tiebreaker. So you're looking at basically 5 games over. But the Warriors, they're only like 2.5 games back of the Warriors. Let's call it 3 games. You win 3 more than the Warriors, which isn't that far-fetched. Right? Like, if they do, they could squeeze in and maybe pick that up. But for me, it's kind of more the long term, right? Like, one, what does Houston end up doing with Jalen Green? Do they look at what he's done this season and go, man, because he's had some spectacular moments, on both sides of the ball. So he's had some good. He's not like people look at him kind of as like, oh, he's the offensive guy. Defensively, he hasn't, he's not a great defensive guy. He's not somebody that you look at and go, oh man, but he's been above league average defensively. League average is 116.5 this year. He's 114.5. So he's been getting it done on the defense side. Again, he's not like elite or ridiculously great, but he's been good, right? He's been better than average. And so, you watch him play and you can see just the traces of greatness. I don't know if he'll actually get there, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this guy, when he's on, he can score with the best of them. He can score in bunches. He can score fast. And this is all, at 22 years old, you're talking about these players just essentially on raw talent and emotion, right? They're just playing on, their God-given gifts and just their pure just aggression going 100 miles an hour. They haven't really fully grasped the game yet. They haven't gotten their grown man bodies yet. They haven't really gotten the true feel for the game on how to just kind of basically get whatever you want. You see that when guys start getting into that, 26, 27 in the prime, right? One of the things you talk about guys is prime years. It's because that's usually when by then they got the body that they're going to have basically the remainder of their career. They've developed a better patience, better understanding, not going, 100 miles an hour all the time, know how to pick and choose and okay, let me go 70 here, right? Let me go 80 here, right? Oh man, this guy, I could go 65 here and kind of conserve some stuff in the tank and then close out down the stretch. So once he really develops that understanding and that grasp of, what it takes to be not just a scorer, but a better all-around player and how to really get to his spots and pick and choose and find his real footing, that's when I think you're going to see this kid start taking even bigger leaps. You see the occasional game like the Washington game and you're just like, man, he's dropping 35 to 40 every other night. And you're just like, the scoring onslaught is there. The talent level is there. It's just, can he translate it and take it to the next level? Can he start getting into that all-star level or maybe even that potential superstar type level or just even a star? Can he become a 27 point a game guy, 25 point a game guy, right? And that's what I mean. Once he starts really getting an understanding. Again, right now he's kind of just, he has a game, he'll drop 40, next game he'll give you 15. And it's the inconsistencies. Now his inconsistencies are still better than a lot of guys' inconsistencies, which is why I think that he does have that potential to really kind of be somebody in this league at some point. But once he gets that feel and he starts developing that consistency, right? The higher you go as far as talent level, the more consistent guys are. What makes the superstars, right? Somebody like Jokic and say a Sabonis. Sabonis is leading the league in triple doubles. He's leading the league in rebounds. The guy's, can do everything Jokic could do. But what's the difference between Jokic and Embiid and Sabonis? It's the level in which Jokic does it, the effortlessness, the understanding, and the computing power, I guess, of the game, right? And more than anything, the consistency. Sabonis will still have games where he's 9 points and 9 rebounds and has 5 turnovers and whatever, right? Where Jokic, if he has a bad game, it's 22, 5 or 22, 9 and 5 or something like that. And you're just, it's the levels. There's levels there. Right? The difference between a role player and a all-star is in many ways, yes, talent for some guys, but it's also a form of consistency. It's a form of opportunity, but It's also a form of consistency. What do they do in the minutes that are given to them? Difference between, an all-star and a star, right? It's that level, that consistency. Or if you want to say star and all-star, however you want to frame it, you get the point. And then a superstar compared to an all-star or a star is, again, another notch, another level of consistency. And so if he can just figure out how to get to that star level of consistency, and then the superstar level of consistency, and then so on and so forth, then I really think that you could see him being in the conversation of like, hey, is he the best shooting guard? Is he, one of the top scorers or just guys in this league? We'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Jalen Green? Do you like him? How do you think he's going to be something one day? Again, keep in mind, he's doing this all at 22 years old. That's what's most impressive. If he was like 25 to 26, I'd kind of be like, he'll probably, he's a great scorer. Maybe like your third or fourth guy on a contender. But no, I mean, he could end up being a real guy. At worst, maybe your second best player on a contender at the trajectory he's going. But we'll see. Time will tell. He's definitely fun to watch. But again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. That's when you enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.